The water cycle. Hello everyone, welcome to Intellify. Water is the ultimate source of living. Have you ever wondered about the journey of water? How does the water cycle go? When scientists search other planets for life, the first thing they look for is the evidence of a water cycle. That's because without water, there can be no life. Water can exist as a solid, liquid, or gas in a relatively narrow band of temperatures, which allows it to cycle around the globe through a series of processes that erode mountains, carve out valleys, and deposit sediments that build new rock. It has the incredible capacity to hold heat, known as its specific heat capacity, which means that water transports warmth from Earth's hot equatorial regions to the north as it cycles around the globe. An overview of the water cycle. Earth's water cycle or hydrologic cycle describes the main internal workings of the Earth's hydrosphere, which includes all the water in, on, and around Earth. The water cycle steps encompass how water changes from liquid to water to solid, how it moves on the planet, and all places it spends time along the way. Journey of a water molecule. It begins in the oceans, rivers, lakes, and other water bodies where the molecules come to the surface. The heat of the sun causes the molecule to leave the ocean and rise up into the atmosphere. As it rises, wind currents carry it to a high altitude. As the molecule rises, it loses heat, condenses into a droplet and other water molecule and falls back on Earth. Here it joins a mountain glacier, where it exists as ice for a long time. Eventually, on a warm summer day, it melts away from the glacier to join a river flowing down the mountain. Sometimes the water droplets fall directly on land and other water bodies. Eventually, all the water molecules return to different water bodies and the cycle begins again. Evaporation, transpiration, and sublimation. Evaporation, transpiration, and sublimation are the processes by which water enters the atmosphere. Evaporation is the transformation of water from a liquid state into gas, and that is how water gets from the ocean, lakes, and rivers to the atmosphere. Sublimation is the direct conversion of water from solid to gaseous state without becoming liquid first. This is how water molecules move from the glaciers to the atmosphere. Transpiration is the release of water molecules from plant leaves into the surrounding air. Condensation and precipitation. Condensation and precipitation are how water leaves the atmosphere to return to the surface of Earth. When water vapor loses heat, it contracts and turns from vapor into liquid, a process known as condensation. When condensation happens in the sky, water falls to the earth as precipitation. Infiltration and runoff. Infiltration and runoff are the ways that water interacts with the solid earth. When water soaks into the soil, it's called infiltration. Runoff is the flow of water over the surface of the earth, either because the ground is already saturated or it is impermeable. Runoff is the main way that water erodes rock, soil, shaping and changing the landscape over time. And that is how the water completes its cycle. That's all for this video. For more updates, subscribe to Learn with Intellify.